Hello, I'm here in Wavertree Seat on this busy Monday afternoon. It's been raining, rain's gone off. Sun's coming out now, but we shall see. It may rain later, so I'm getting this video done as soon as. Why is it important to vote? I'll tell you why. As well as why it's important that candidates like me need to stand in elections. We need to put pressure on the Liberal politicians who, if left alone to their own devices, will continue pushing the Liberal agenda and won't oppose the cultural change our glorious city is undergoing. So it's important to get out and vote, especially in next year's general election. I know it's a bit off, yeah, could be a year off, could be more, I'm not sure. But it's important to get out and vote for Joe Owens. I'll be standing in Wavertree. I'll be challenging Paula Barker. She's a Liberal. She doesn't oppose cultural change our city's undergoing. She just left the new arrivals, moving to the top of Spitdown Road and transform the place into something completely different, a scary place as well. Right, shame on you. So not only is it important, candidates like me standing, opposing the cultural change, people need to get out and vote for candidates like myself, because we need to put pressure on these politicians. Because trust me, if they see their seat under threat, who knows, they may start opposing it themselves, even in some small way. Now, if they don't, then they lose their seat, right? This is what must be done. We have to oppose them, and we do this at election time. It is no good marching, it is no good demonstrating. That's been done the past 40 years and achieves zilch. 1 million people marched to stop the war in Iraq. Did it stop it? No. Had the warmongers been voted out, then it would have stopped it. So electoral politics is the way forward. That is the way forward. That is how we oppose the cultural change of our glorious city. That is how we oppose it, right? You can march, demonstrate, you can do all that, like I've said. It achieves zilch. And in fact, the powers that be probably love you marching and demonstrating, because they know it achieves zilch, right? You have to vote them out. We have to vote them out. That's the only way we can change policy. That's the only way things are going to change. Otherwise, it's the same pantomime and circus. And if you don't believe me, well, look what's happened over, as I say, the past 40 years. Let's use that, say. How many marches, how many demonstrations? The 1 million man march, as I say, against the war in Iraq. Did it stop it? No. What needed to be done was the warmongers being voted out. That's what needs to be, that's what should have been done and needs to be done now. But anyway, I'm diversifying a bit here now. I'm just trying to make my point. Here in Liverpool, I'll be standing in next year's general election. They're the constituency of Wavertree, and it's important people get out and vote for Joe Owens. It's important because we can show these people that there is opposition to what they're allowing to happen to our glorious city. We have to show them that there is opposition to this, and that they're not just going to be unchallenged and continue doing what they're doing. And also, like I've said, by excuse me, it's getting really busy. By polling good votes, these Liberal politicians, whether the councillors or MPs, are going to have to stop and think seriously at the next election whether or not they're going to continue with the same sellout policies and flood our city full of new arrivals and change its character, culture and identity, or they may start speaking out against it. Probably not, they probably won't, but you don't know. So we need to put pressure on them. You put pressure on them by standing, you put pressure on them by getting a good vote. And who knows, maybe the next election they think they're going to think twice, especially if it looks like they're going to be unseated. Because like I've said, most, if not all, these politicians, the career politicians, you know, it is some food for thought. Dennis Skinner, right? So-called champion of the working man socialist. Tony Benn, another one, so-called champion socialist, champion of the working class and socialist. What did they achieve while being MPs? Zilch, nothing. They just went along with everything else. So nothing's going to change. We have to change the system ourselves, because, like I said, Dennis Skinner, so-called champion of the working class socialist, Tony Benn, so-called champion of the working class socialist, and many others. What did they actually achieve while they were in Parliament, while they were in office, while they were elected an MP to serve their respective constituencies? What did they achieve? They achieved nothing. Zilch. Right? If they had achieved anything, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now. I don't need to say the same regarding the Tories. We know where we stand with them. So it's important. We need to put pressure on these Liberal politicians, and if we can, to try and vote them out. That would be even better, but we at least need to put pressure on them, because change will come. If these people believe they're going to be unseated, trust me, right, their loyalty to whatever they proclaim at the present can change overnight, especially if they're going to lose the seat. So I'll be standing. I hope I haven't waffled on a bit there, but it's getting really busy. I hope I articulated that as best I could. I don't know, but all the same, it is important to stand against these people. It's important to get a good vote, and it's important to put pressure on them, because some of them, you don't know, they may just one day say, right, this guy's right, I'm gonna jump on board with him, or I'm gonna lose my seat, right? And like I've said, what have all these politicians in the past achieved? They've achieved nothing. None of them have, right? The only one that actually achieved anything and said anything was Enoch Powell. All the rest have just gone along with the Liberal agenda, which they're going along with now. Hello, my love, you okay? Thanks. So it's important. I'll be standing, as I say, in next year's general election in the constituency of Wavertree, opposing refugees welcome Liberal Paula Barker. It's important you get out and vote. I'm preparing for my campaign now while I can, because it's essential for the future of our city, because if it's left to these people, they'll bury it under an avalanche of cultural change. And like I've said, every house, every street, every neighbourhood that falls victim to cultural change is part of Liverpool we lose. Okay, I'm going to stop now because it's really getting busy. I'm going to have a cup of coffee. Okay, thank you.
What do you think about the narrative at the moment to people crossing the channel? How do you think that we should be tackling the small boats crisis?
I'm quite simple. Refugees welcome.